Hey guys, Kurt here with NK Garage and welcome back to another tool haul episode. Today's episode was an estate sale. I went there and I bought all this stuff for 90 bucks. Everything that you see that is marked, I got 30% off. So let's jump in this haul. Let's show you guys what I got. I think we got a lot of cool stuff, a lot of unique stuff, and a lot of great deals. First off, I started off in the garage of the house, and this is one of the first things I grabbed. Marked at $4. You get 4 Craftsman USA wrenches with a Craftsman wrench holder. I thought that was an excellent deal. It was even less than $4 because of the deals. Next up, check this out. Now I don't normally buy electronic diagnostics tools, but these are vintage Snap-on, both of these. And with 30% off, 15 becomes $10. Not bad. This is a multi-scanner by Snap-on Tools, and inside the case, this is from the 1980s. This is a scan tool from back then. You get to choose your model year over here. Your diagnostic modes are over here. Can't say this is a tool that I have a use for. I don't own any vehicles from the 80s, but I just thought it was really cool. For 10 bucks, I just thought it would be fun to take a look at it and just show you guys. These are on eBay. You can get these for like 45 bucks. They're not expensive if you do need one for one of these older model vehicles. I just think it's cool. It's retro. It's Snap-on. It's awesome. It looks complete. Comes with all the cables. Pretty sweet. Next up is another Snap-on Vintage Tools. And this one I was even more excited about. Originally marked at 20. It's got a nice little carrying case. But you open it up, and it's a digital high impedance volt and ohm meter. This is the MT470. This was such a big deal back then, they even put a serial number on it. So it was a serious tool, when they put a serial number on something. But you got your volts and your ohms mode settings over here. Flip this open and you got your diagnostic leads in here. It runs off a 9-volt battery. I took the original battery out, and when I did that I snapped off one of the terminals on the 9-volt clip, but you can just put a replacement on there and get it back to working condition again. This is something I actually want to test out and see how it works. I just like it because of the way it looks. You got the vintage underline logo up here. Just the whole unit itself, the carrying case, folding style, I just thought it was really sweet. So this is just going to be kind of like a collector item for me, but I can also use it and just get that vintage vibe, if I got to do some diagnostics work. This stuff we'll get to at the end of the video, just because we're going to have to make some space and go through it, but this was all bulk deals. This bag was marked at $6, this bin was marked at $10, and that was marked at $15. And then all that got marked down. So that was some crazy good deals I couldn't leave behind. In the front row, I picked up 3 Bonnie-Con wrenches. They were marked at $2 a piece. They're SAE, got the 13/16, 11/16, and the 5/8. I like the old school Bonnie logos. I know Resto Rob does as well. He's a serious collector. These particular wrenches were made in India. They're kind of more of a cheaper model. They're pretty thin, but they still look cool, and I'm sure Resto Rob would like to have these in his collection. Got this little plomb wrench. This was marked at 50 cents, so I got it for even less than that. Little double box. Wasn't going to leave that behind. Mac, Phillips number 2 screwdriver, the yellow and red handle. That was marked at $2. Got some pliers, Crowder pliers. You guys know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, I love Crowder. I'm a big Crowder collector. I actually slowed down on collecting these for a while, but this is such a nice pair of Lyman's pliers in good condition. I couldn't leave them behind, so just kind of had to have those. Next up is a channel lock. This is the old school one with the Champion D'Armament logo on it. Very nice shape on this one, light use. We have the embellished handles. You can see they were asking $2 for it. Next up, similar style pliers, but this one is Craftsman Vanadium. And this one's got some rust pitting and such, but again, embellished handles. I'm a Craftsman Vanadium collector, so when I see them and they're reasonably priced, I always pick them up. Craftsman, $2 for this little diagonal cutters. It's an older Craftsman. You can't really see it there, but it does have a pointed A in the logo. So I think that puts it, you know, maybe 50s or possibly early 60s. It does have some rubber vinyl grips on it. I'm not exactly sure what date this is, but there's a C stamp on the back. It's a little rough, but $2 marked down. I kind of had to have it. Another pair of Craftsman Vanadium pliers, little lineman's pliers, about a 6.5 inch with the embellished handles. You know I can't pass these up. Little 9-inch auto wrench by Fairmont Cleve. $3 on that one. Little rusty, little dusty, but overall actually in really good shape. You can tell by the jaws on these. That's usually a indication of how much it was used. These are nice and straight and square. Wrench isn't bent. So it really probably just sat around a lot. Little 6-inch Utica. I'm a Utica guy. I love the 3 diamond logos. This guy's a little rough, but it was marked at $1. So I can clean it up, get it working again. I got some bevel gauges. I am now considering myself a bevel gauge collector as far as the vintage and antique ones go. So this is a Craftsman Underline C. I don't know if this hardware is original or if there originally was like a wing nut there, but you can lock it at the end down here to keep it closed up. And then, of course, it's a standard bevel gauge. Sliding T-bevel marked on the back. All metal, no wood. And the blade itself is very sturdy, very heavy duty. I had to have that. I think this was at $4. This was also at $4. I believe this is a Stanley, but I'm not 100% sure. I already took it apart and cleaned it up because it was rusty. There is a patent date on here. It's September, and then it's marked September 4th, 1877. Wood and brass handle. Got the thumb switch here. Like I said, I cleaned it up. This was all rusted and pitted. But again, this is another one for the collection. It's not marked by any brand on it, but I kind of feel like it's a Stanley. If you guys know more about that, you know, especially with the patent date on there, that would probably be a good indicator. So, $4 marked down. Wasn't going to leave that behind either. Got these 2 Stanley pry bar, crowbar style demolition bars. These are the Stanley number 1460. Haven't quite seen these before. I thought they could be pretty useful. They were each $3. I like them. I think I'm going to keep them around, use them for some demo work. Got a $4 hammer here. Handle's in rough shape. It looks like it's about to come off here, but that is a Plum logo there. So it's a Plum Victory old claw hammer. I always pick up Plum when I see a good logo on them. So that could be a fixer. Nice little vintage Plum. Got some pipe wrenches, Craftsman. This is a 10-inch, maybe a 12-inch. Pretty rusty, but again, I'm a Craftsman guy and I enjoy cleaning tools. Craftsman 8-inch. And this one here, I think it's a Stilson. Got the old logo here, the Stilson diamond logo there, wood handle. The condition seemed pretty good. It's marked at $3, so I figured this one will clean up really nice. It's not bent or wood isn't cracked or anything like that. Definitely a good candidate for a restoration. $3 on this little socket case with contents. You can see there used to be a Craftsman Crown logo here. This would be probably a 1/4-inch drive case. You know, all the original stuff is pretty much gone, but inside I found a handful of stuff that made it worth it for me. So we have 4 pieces of Mac Tools USA. We have 7 pieces of Craftsman USA, some of the original V series that probably was in this kit, the single line V. 2 pieces of Challenger by Proto. An SK socket. And a Wizard. So the other 2 are just Taiwan, but definitely a good deal for $3. So let me make some room and then we'll go through the bulk bargains. Alright guys, we're back and I got everything laid out for you. So let's take a look on this tray. I put everything from the $6 bag, which then got marked down to $4, And you'll see why I bought this bag. I looked inside, I saw these two ratchets, and I just grabbed it immediately. First up, we have a 1/4" drive plumb ratchet. This thing is really cool. It even works just as it sits. WF8 is the part number on that guy. Thin little cool old plumb. I do not have this. It's going right in the collection. Craftsman round head fine tooth. Nice ratchet here. Old V series with the patent. You know, these have the quick release. Everything works good. That's awesome. 2 little 1/4" breaker bars, the sliding T-handle. This is a WF9 plumb. And this one doesn't seem to have any marks on it as we see right now. I'll have to clean it up later and see if we can find something. And we got an arrangement of sockets, adapters. We got this unbranded 3/8 flex ratchet. Does work. We got a random ratchet head from a flex head. That also works. There's some Craftsman stuff in here. We have a Napa socket here with those millimeter marks all the way around the socket, just so you're sure that it's a millimeter. That's an 8mm. Spark plug socket by her brand. We do have 2 of these guys. I'm looking, and I'm not sure. They've got a part number, but no branding on them. They're definitely old. They're both the same, 7/16. There's a New Britain, another plumb socket, another plumb socket. This is going to be a good one for the plumb collection. This is another plumb socket. There's some junk mixed in here too. You know, another New Britain. Really crusty universal joint. But you get the gist. Couldn't leave that behind. I wanted the ratchets. Everything else was basically free. I'll have to go through it later and see what I can find. I'm going to come around here for the 2 bulk bins full of rusty wrenches. I pulled out the stuff that I could identify, but you can see I got a whole pile in the back that just needs to be cleaned up. Some of them are broken and bent, but there's a lot of good tools in there. A lot of very old vintage and antique stuff. We got 2 of these little bicycle auto wrenches. This one is marked Billing and Spencer's here. They both got rust pitting and such. I haven't gotten this one working yet, but I was happy to get it because everything here, just in the front row, was less than $1 a piece, and then all that was basically free. This one I couldn't find any branding on it. We've got 2 old school Bonnie wrenches. We got 2 Ford wrenches. We got 2 double box Barkalow Buffalo. 2 Velocek double box. This one is a Billing and Spencer's curve wrench. 2 old Lectrolites. 4 Fairmont Cleve double open. 2 Wards. These are the Wards Eclipse auto kit style wrenches. Got this ratcheting screwdriver. It's marked utility, and it's kind of functioning. A little bit squeaky and creaky, and it comes with the dirt grime mold package. The Stanley big flat blade, that one could use a cleanup. 4 pieces of Williams. And then, like I said, all this is just stuff that I have to kind of identify. We got some T-handle socket wrenches. This is a nice big one here. That could be like a 1-inch. Got this giant heavy-duty chisel. A lot of good stuff here. I'll have to dig through it. There was some stuff where I could see some writing, but I just couldn't identify the brands. But, you know, there's probably 50 pieces, maybe more here. And that was all basically free. So I just couldn't leave that stuff behind. What do you guys think? Would you pick that up? Because I know I would pick it up every day if I could, until I was overwhelmed with tools. I'm pretty happy with this estate sale tool haul. I got there on the second day. Everything was 20% off, but I bought so much they gave me 30% off. So that was a pretty good little tool haul. Like I said, it was 90 bucks. You know, that was a really awesome deal. And let me know what you guys think about the tool haul. Let me know what your favorite piece is. Mine has got to be the plumb 1/4" ratchet along with the assorted plumb sockets because I'm a collector and that stuff's hard to find. And that was a really great deal. And then, if you guys haven't noticed yet, we've been cleaning up the shop. So we painted the pegboard here. We went for a light gray color, try to just help the tools pop and clean up the room as we kind of get everything organized around here. So I kind of redid the pegboard, just try to clean everything up, make everything look good. These are all tools that we use but also collect at the same time. So they're all users, but also a lot of this stuff is collection, you know. Then with that, we also painted, we have this pegboard up here. This is just a iron I-beam, support beam, and it has a pegboard on it. So we keep a lot of tape and stuff up here, but we painted that, and we painted the machinist section. You guys don't get to see this a lot, but this is where I put some of the machinist measuring tools, stuff that doesn't really fit in a toolbox so well, and stuff that I kind of just look at as a display thing, but we do use this stuff. So we painted that as well, and I reorganized it as well. And then we got another shop addition that you guys don't get to see around here too often, but we had some Home Depot rewards points. Nick logged on to Home Depot the other day just to check something, and he saw that we had like 50-something bucks, $100 of rewards points. So we got this Milwaukee pack-out wall hanging unit, and then we got the battery bins as well. So I think we pretty much spent most of the money on that. You know, Milwaukee does charge a premium for this stuff. I really wouldn't buy it regularly because I could probably just make a battery rack myself, but we had the rewards points, so we went and just bought it. And we got some of our batteries off of the shelf here and onto the wall. So I thought that was pretty cool. Figured I'd show you guys in case you're looking for some shop organization. Check your Home Depot account. We had no idea. We had some tools and some points, and we wanted to use them. So basically got that for free. The lighting, we did this a while ago. We painted the ceiling white, and we did all the lighting. So we have 5 of these. These are the 8-foot LED lights. They come in 2 packs from Home Depot. They're pretty inexpensive. They're very lightweight, but they put off a lot of light. So they're pretty easy to install. For what for what you're buying, that's not a bad deal. But we did that in here, and then we just did that in the garage as well. So here in the garage we have 6 of them, and that improved the lighting in here a lot. So that was a big improvement. We've just been kind of organizing and getting set up. It's all just a little bit at a time. But we reorganized our toolbox section. So this used to be Nick's uncle's house, and his uncle had set up the garage with all these blue rack shelvings, which was great. And originally we had our US General box over here, and then we had the Red Craftsman box under here. But what we did is we took apart this workbench that he made. He was a carpenter, and he made this himself. So we took it apart so we could actually lift it up and get it right under the toolbox, get everything in here all together. So now all the toolboxes are in the same spot. So got a little light here, just working on organization. Nick's doing an oil change on the Kawasaki Mule right now. So it's a little bit of a mess going on, but it's a working shop. So figured I'd show you guys some of that. Maybe it's some inspiration for you guys to look into different ways you can organize. And I figured I'd get your opinion on the gray pegboards. Figured that looked better, a little bit cleaner than the brown. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.